Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inside Berm Weekly. I am your host, Jake Keel, and I am ready to bring to you another week of dirt racing and asphalt racing talk, motorsports talk. There's a lot that has been going on this week. And it seems like every week we're talking about the ASCS. We're going to talk a little bit about ASCS today with them hiring new racing directors. We're going to talk about where to go see racing this weekend. And of course, the Bristol tire wear situation this weekend. Was it good or was it bad? The answer that I'm going to give you is not quite surprising. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We have our sponsors to talk about today. Victory Fuel, flavored electrolyte water, gives you your daily dose of vitamins, as well as your electrolytes. It's kid-friendly with low sugar, caffeine-free, and no artificial coloring. No coloring at all. Comes out clear, which is how I tend to like most of my drinks anymore, is clear. You know that there's nothing weird added to them. And you got to love that Victory Fuel over there. Let's talk about Spine Buster. John Kyle Summers. John, it's great to see you were able to make the show this week. I love it. Love to see it. Spine Buster brand launched our first shirt, and it's been a smashing success in the auto racing department. You will be able to find those on Etsy at Spine Buster brand. We've got a couple new designs going up this week, and I'm really excited about what we've got going, including our first Fender shirts that are coming your way. For all you Fender guys, we're going to have some modified and some hobby stock ones, and as well as a new NASCAR design we put up for the Inside Berm podcast. A really cool design. I'll go ahead and add that on here real quick so y'all can see that. Real old school NASCAR design, which is where my NASCAR allegiance usually lies. Very, very excited about the drop of this t-shirt. I think you're going to love it. As well as hats. Hats are coming, including, if y'all like this one, I'm probably going to drop this one. This one's one I made for myself. Run the damn cushion. That's how I like my sprint cars. That's how I like my late models. Run the damn cushion. Inside Berm podcast NASCAR t-shirts. This is what you will see on those t-shirts with the Winston Cup inspired logo. That Inside Berm podcast logo will be on the front with this design on the back. It's one of my favorite designs so far. Really excited about that one. Justin Condon, glad that you're back. We love seeing you on there. Hope to see you guys real soon at the track. As we've got a lot of racing going on this weekend. Jake's Dad Carbs, once again, micro sprint season is officially underway. And if you do not have your carburetors, then what are you doing? Well, I know what you should do. You should call Jake's Dad Carbs 405-640-6862. And don't forget, I did not mention this. Go to drinkvictory.com and use code MONSTARPRO for 10% off your total order with Victory Fuel. Ashley Allenson, glad to see you on here. Another new viewer to the pod, at least first time commenting on the pod. I'm glad to see you on here. You can find Ashley at many dirt tracks taking wonderful photos. Hope to get some of her photos for the pod before too long. We'll have to talk about that. Let's dive right into it. We'll talk about where to watch racing this weekend here near the end of the pod, but let's talk about the big news coming out of the last week. ASCS has hired new race directors. And I just had that pulled up. I don't know why it's disappeared, but let's pull them up real quick. Get the official terminology used, but we all knew that some big news was coming. They of course were bought by World Racing Group, and I feel like each and every week I'm talking more and more about ASCS, and it's great to have this kind of movement with a great series. While I'm pulling that up, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/inside Berm, to support the racing here. Everything that I'm going to earn through this podcast is going to go right back into the podcast and into local racing. Hopefully we can get it to the point where I'm donating money to racetracks on the regular to, put money back in the pockets of race car drivers. But it's as simple as $5 a month. You get access to all my YouTube content, which I will be filming the first content this weekend. The opener at Southern Oklahoma Speedway was way too busy to really dive in with that, but I'm going to be filming a lot of content this weekend, maybe get some exclusive interviews on there that you'll be able to see before everyone else on Patreon. So, a new series director for ASCS was hired this past week. Lonnie Wheatley back in the fold with ASCS. Lonnie spent a decade as the media director for ASCS, and he's quoted, "Really excited about it. I don't know when I've been this excited about something. It's a series that means a lot to me, and it's near and dear to me, really going back to its inception." Lonnie was there from the beginning, and he is a firm believer that this is only a good thing for the ASCS series, and I would love to have him on the podcast, as well as this next man, Cody Cordell, hired as the competition director, as well as helming the ASCS Sooner region. Cody Cordell is a longtime friend of mine, going on, has it really been this long since I was in college? About 15 years now. Me and Cody actually played football together at Friends University on the same offensive line, and really got to know Cody well in college, and knew him as a driver before that in the micro sprint ranks. And Cody has spent pretty much since then working in racing. He worked with the I believe the Power Eye series, but most notably the last 4 years he's been the crew chief and team leader for Noah Gas on the World of Outlaws sprint car series, as well as different ventures with that team. And he spent quite a while helping those drivers, helping different drivers in the crew chief spectrum. So he's going to be a really good person that's going to be helming this ASCS Sooner region. He's going to come off the road as crew chief and go back to the official side. He was an official before, and it's really, really exciting to see Cody there. Hopefully that means I'm going to get to see Cody a lot more, and I'm so excited for these two gentlemen. I think that they are the perfect people to be helming this series, and I think it's gonna help a whole lot with these two series, having these gentlemen on board. As always, if you would like to be on the show and talk, don't forget to post your comments live. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to give permission, that way you're not pulled up as Facebook user, and I can give you a little shout out. But man, it's been a great week of racing. a lot of rain has reared its ugly head. But hey, we're here. We're going to be able to make things happen. We're going to make we're going to have a really good week of racing. There's a lot of racing here in the Oklahoma region that you'll be able to see this week. And one moment, give me 1 second. I'm having a technical difficulty. Webcam problems today, so I had to reinstall my webcam software. I use a GoPro as my webcam. That's how I get really good quality webcam footage on here. I use that GoPro 8 as a webcam. What a great product they make there. But yeah, so let's talk about what's happening this week in racing. There's a lot of racing going down, and I'm going to pull up some sources to bring up some more talking points as well. But let's get down to it. This Saturday, of course, Southern Oklahoma Speedway are bringing in the IMCA sprint cars for the first time this season, as well as the sport compacts. Going to be a great night of racing. Gates open at 5. Racing starts at 7. 13 years and up are $20. 12 and under, 15. Seniors, $15. Under 5 are always free, and pit passes are $35. Southern Oklahoma Speedway, a great place to watch racing if you enjoy your fender life. They're always got great fender racing going on. Greg Moran, it's good to hear from you too. I hope I see you around at the racetrack this year. Greg Moran was around in my first tenure at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Always a great guy to talk to. Would love to see you here soon, Greg. Hopefully we'll see you at Southern Oklahoma Speedway some. But Southern Oklahoma Speedway, they'll have the IMCA sprint cars as well as the IMCA sport compacts. But don't forget, we'll have the IMCA sport mods, who put on a wonderful feature 2 weeks ago now at Southern Oklahoma Speedway, as well as the hobby stocks and factory stocks and eco mods. All 3 of those weekly races were fantastic last week. Last time we were at Southern Oklahoma Speedway, and we unfortunately got rained out last week. We were supposed to have our annual Southern Stampede with the IMCA modifieds, but unfortunately that has been canceled, and we will go again next year. I did confirm with Nikki and John Webb through their Facebook that there will be a rain date for that race next year. There will be a built-in rain date in case we have some more rain. Unfortunately, it's March in Oklahoma, and weather is unpredictable. I look outside right now, and it looks like it's about to start raining here. So, oh, fantastic! They have a really good car. Greg says he'll be there quite often with the Tom Series. We got the Tom Series coming up soon. I'm gonna have to pull up the schedule, but I think they make their debut within the next couple weeks there. April 6th. So Southern Oklahoma Speedway will be open this week, and then they'll be closed next week for Easter. And then we've got the Tom Series, and Tom Series never disappoints. If you want to see some really great modified racing, you got to check out the Tom Series. 100% one of the best series out there, and they always put on a great show at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Other places you can check out racing. Let's see some of the local stuff this week. I put the Southern Oklahoma Speedway banner on there twice. The Stand On It Classic at Arrowhead Speedway will technically start tomorrow night with practice, but it'll be the 22nd and the 23rd USRA stock cars, as well as USRA B mods and tuners, and then pure stocks. Great racing at Arrowhead, one of the next great tracks next to Southern Oklahoma Speedway here in Oklahoma. And they also have a rain date scheduled in for next week. So if you can't make it next week, or if it gets rained out this week, then they will have a rain date next week. But I do believe they should be able to get that in. John, I'm going to touch on that here in a second. I'll bring up his comment after I get through these, and then we'll go into that comment. March 23rd, Port City Raceway. Again, this is their second week of points. Junior sprints, A classes, restrictor, non-wing sportsman. If you are a micro guy, there's no better place on earth than to watch micros at Port City Raceway. And if you can't make it there this weekend, they're celebrating their 50th year of racing at Port City Raceway this year. You can watch it live on starttofinish.com, Start to Finish TV. Another great venture in auto racing for them. Kennedale Speedway will be racing the World of Outlaws this weekend, March 23rd. That is I do believe a rain remake up. I believe that was the date that was supposed to be at Lawton Speedway. Lawton Speedway had their unfortunate fire in their press box, and hopefully they can get everything sorted out up there to get back on the Outlaw Tour next year. As well as Big O Speedway making their World of Outlaws debut, I do believe they stated March 22nd. Big time racing going on in Texas for the World of Outlaws. Obviously, the World of Outlaws, you never want to miss the World of Outlaws if they are in your town. One last deal, the ASCS sprint cars, and we were just talking about them, will make their way to Creek County Speedway March 23rd. That is this Saturday. Races start at 7:30, hot laps at 7. Emmett Hahn putting on the show that everybody wants to see up there. Great racetrack at Creek County. One of my personal favorite racetracks to watch racing. So let's talk about Jason Hughes. Jason Hughes, John Kyle Summers. I don't know why I keep on saying your full name. John Summers, a longtime supporter of mine, longtime supporter of Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Let's talk about Jason Hughes. If possible, can I get your quick take? How do you think Jason Hughes will do at the Stand On It Classic at Arrowhead? While I don't know his experience in an IMCA stock car, there it is. That'll be on Race On. While I don't know his experience in the IMCA stock car, Jason Hughes is hard to beat, period. He is very hard to beat in any kind of dirt car, and I really think he's gonna do great at Arrowhead. I have no reason to doubt his talent behind the wheel. He's always, just been phenomenal behind a modified and pretty much anything with fenders. And I don't think that is going to change this weekend. I'd have to look at the entry list because there's probably going to be a lot of really good USRA stock cars there. But I have to believe that he is going to be one of the guys to beat in at Arrowhead this weekend. I love the big money races going on right now. There's a lot of money being spent to give these guys great places to race, great tracks, and I'm just really excited about what's going to go on there. I'll be trying to check that out this weekend when I can. But I'm going to be at Southern Oklahoma Speedway on the mic once again. The IMCA Sprint Cars, IMCA Sport Mods, the Sport Compacts, all of it. Headlines. There's a lot of headlines going on right now in racing. Let's talk about the late models for a second. I haven't got to talk about this, and I know this is kind of old news at this point, March 12th. It was just kind of coming out. I wanted to wait until this week. Bobby Pierce has been suspended and fined for failing a tire test at the February 16th event. It is kind of crazy that it's taken them this long to really bring this out. Oh, and I wanted to give a shout out to my daughter. She went to her first race and she loved watching the race cars and hearing me over the intercom. I love you, baby girl. Jason Hughes could kick your ass in a cardboard box. Absolutely. He's a fantastic racer. But Bobby Pierce was fined, it looks like $8,400, $1,000 fine, $400 tire analyst fee, and a loss of $7,000 in prize money, and has been suspended from WRG events for 30 days. So something was found in his tire compound that had been chemically altered from the benchmarks that were provided from the Hoosier Racing Tire. It's a big concern going on. Well, this can obviously have effects on racing, on the racing on track, but this is after he picked up the big gator. So, there was a lot at stake here, and he was found to be cheating. I'm not saying that, he intended to, but this is just what we know. And so it'll be really interesting to see what kind of magnifying glass is on is on Bobby Pierce going forward. But he's one of the best drivers in late models right now, and so I don't know. It's gonna be really wild to see what these kind of cheating scandals go on. That's all I really got to say about it. There's not a lot of information out there as to what exactly happened, but there's obviously. I'm not 100% against cheating. Cheating is usually finding a gray area until it becomes not a gray area. Obviously, when you have this much money on the line and everything, you're going to do everything you can to win. But I don't think Bobby Pierce needs to cheat to win. I don't think he's the type of guy that knowingly is going out there and going, "Yep, we're going to cheat. We're going to do this, this, and this." I'd be very interested to see once more information comes out. In fact, we'll do a quick Google and see if anything else has come out. But all we've really seen is that he was fined and he was suspended. So we got a conversation going on in the comments. That's the only thing with jumping to a different kind of car is that you might be off at first on adjustments on what you need to do, because when you drive a modified for so long, the adjustments are obviously going to be a little bit different going into a stock car. But man, I fully expect him to run up front often this weekend. Especially being a 2-night show. That second night, he should have it all dialed in. Real quick, let's talk about Cotton Bowl Speedway last week. Cotton Bowl Speedway had the World of Outlaws, and we're talking about 2 nights of racing that might be early contenders for races of the year in sprint car racing. Both nights had really close battles for the lead. Brent Marks, the first night, picking up the win. I believe it was on the final turn, and yeah, he was all over Hanschild, but man, he got the win, and Brent Marks is just on another planet since he started doing his own kind of thing. He's running a true outlaw schedule, picks and chooses his racing, and he's been pretty hard to beat the last few years. Gio Scelzi, Hot Sauce, picked up the win the next night and the point lead. I think we might be seeing an early contender for the champion for this year's champion, Gio Scelzi. He's absolutely on point right now, and you love to see a new guy running up front. Let's change gears a little bit. I talk a lot of NASCAR now. I talk a lot of NASCAR because I watch a lot of NASCAR now. This Bristol race this past weekend is exactly what I want to see from an asphalt race. There was tire wear, extreme tire wear, which I know didn't get tire wear didn't really excite the drivers as much, and honestly 50 laps was a little much on a tire run. I wish they would have. I think our sweet spot here on tire wear on a short track would be around 60 to 70 laps. That way they can drive a little harder. But I loved the chess match that Bristol turned into. It was an all-time record for lead changes, and you had guys running great cerebral racing out there. They were thinking about what they were doing a little bit more, and we've seen in Bristol past that they could have really long green flag runs and have not a lot of issues. That's not what I want to see. You want to see these cars being right up next to each other. You want to see lead changes, and overall, I think the fans have absolutely loved it. I did see people, complaining about it, but these are also the same people that have been complaining about there not being enough tire wear. So it's really on the fans here that they didn't want the dirt anymore on the spring race. So let's ditch the dirt. Okay. They listened. They ditched the dirt. We want tire wear at our short tracks. We want close racing, lots of lead changes, tire wear. Okay. They got that, and we're still getting complaining. So I'm 100% agree with this comment, Justin. Bristol felt like a throwback to the 90s, and it did. You had a lot of problems for guys, and I know there was a lot of people that said they absolutely loved it. I know Kyle Larson said that he hopes he never has to run another race like that. I disagree. I think every time we go to the short track, we should have tire wear, maybe not this substantial, but tire wear like that. I think we should have greasy tires and guys sliding around and having some issues, and it's fun for the fans. Because at the end of the day, it is all about what gets people into the gate and what gets people watching on TV. And that's been a problem. It's been a problem at Bristol, especially. Bristol has had some problems with its gate, and this weekend still had a bad gate. Now, if I had known that it was going to be that kind of race, I would have bought tickets to that race because it was exciting. And at the end of the day, this isn't. It's a sport, sport is meant to be entertaining, and we got it in spades this weekend on a NASCAR race. If I wanted to show someone a NASCAR race and say, this, let's get you excited to watch racing, watch NASCAR, that's the race I'm going to show them. That and the Atlanta race this year. NASCAR's been great this year. And if you're not watching NASCAR right now, I understand if you don't like asphalt, that's fine. I completely understand. I love sprint cars. I know a lot of people that hate sprint cars. So, but that was a great race, and that is a make new fans type of race. Absolutely, John. I think Jason's going to do really great in that stock car. That track is really racy, and it's a really good track. Sorry, guys. I've been fighting allergies all week, so I'm losing my breath a little bit on all of this, but there was another big announcement in the late model series going on. Rocket Chassis, the house car team, lost its driver, Hudson O'Neill. Hudson left the R1 car, and we got something that I wasn't expecting, and that's Tim McCready pulling into that car. Tim McCready has long been running kind of his own deal. He's always been in a number 39, and now he's in that Rocket 1. I'm very excited about that. I'm really interested to see what Tim McCready can do. He has shown that he has still got it, that he's still one of the best dirt racers on the planet, and I'm excited to see what he can do in that R1 car. And that's, I'm a big Tim McCready fan, mainly because of his crossover appeal. He's raced anything with wheels on it. He's raced NASCAR. He's raced midgets. He's raced big block modifieds, late models, you name it. He's been in it. So I'm very excited about him joining a really elite team, and we'll see, what he can do in that Rocket Chassis car. We'll step back to the Bristol talk. Yeah, probably 15% less wear would be the hook. 65 laps, I think, is where I'd want, the tire wear, the cording to start to happen. For people that don't understand what cording is, I'm going to pull up a picture real quick. If you're watching racing, you probably know what this is, but there are people that watch racing and don't quite understand everything. Cording is when you start to see the cords of the tires. You see inside a tire there are these little metal cords, and we're going to pull up a presentation. Will probably be the easiest way to do this. But so this is what we're talking about right here. Whenever they start cording, these tires right here are at the end of their run at Bristol this past weekend. You saw a lot of this, and they swear up and down this was the same tire that they brought last year to the fall race. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but it led to a race where drivers really had to think and really had to think about what they were doing. You heard like almost asphalt late model talk over the um over the radios about, hey, you need to be running this kind of lap. Um, it was absolutely tremendous. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan, but Denny ran probably the smartest race out there. Him and Martin Truex were on point the whole day. Ty Gibbs drove it a little too hard. But it was a great race, and I am give me more of it. I will watch NASCAR all day long. Give me more of that. The resin did play a huge part in that. The resin that they laid down a chemical resin instead of the normal track prep. What is it called? JG1? I can't remember the exact chemical that they used to use, but they used this resin chemical to lay down on the track for track prep, and it just didn't take rubber. And that's a big part. PJ1. Yes, PJ1. There we go. It just didn't take rubber. And that was what was mainly causing this kind of racing to happen. And so let's do more of that. I want to see more of it. Yes, pimp juice. Exactly. Drag racers call it pimp juice. PJ1. I want to see a lot of it. I want to see every short track on the schedule should have that kind of tire wear. Save the tire, lasting 150 laps for these big tracks. We don't want to see that here. We want to see short track racing. You got to use the bumper to get by, that kind of stuff. So let's do more of that. Other than that, we've kind of come to our talking points of the day. I feel like our 40-minute shows are kind of our benchmark and kind of our sweet spot. So I'm going to have a lot to talk about next week as we recap Southern Oklahoma Speedway. We'll talk about what happened at Arrowhead and what happened with the World of Outlaws. And of course, if there's breaking news, I'll cover it. We'll cover it on the show. Once again, head out to Southern Oklahoma Speedway this weekend and support. That's one of the ways to support me directly. I'm very excited about Sprint Cars there. Sprint Cars at Southern Oklahoma Speedway is a phenomenal show. They're really good at that track. And of course, if you can't, don't know why my pictures aren't showing up. There they are. If you can't make it there, go to your local dirt track. There's a lot to choose from. Colcord, Oklahoma at Arrowhead Speedway, Port City Raceway in Tulsa, Kennedale in Kennedale, Texas, Big O in Ennis, Texas, and of course, Creek County in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Go buy your Inside Berm and your Fairground Speedway t-shirts. They help us directly. And ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and enjoying this show. And I can't wait for next week. We'll talk to you later.